you doing? I'm all like, oh, I don't know what to go open the window because it's hot in here. You didn't hear me.
So hopefully the little people will be quiet and you won't hear no screaming. So how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
That's good. I'm good. Babies are good. Husband's good. Family's good.
You look good, so that's a good thing.
You too, yeah.
Thank you.
So we're gonna get into the meat of things. Like we had talked earlier, you know, this is you're the first. So
that's good. Good.
You're the first. And I had bought your book before I decided to do this. So when, you know, Darius were talking and he said, why don't you just interview, you know, some Black entrepreneurs, females, you know, and then we'll explore other people to interview, you know. And I was like, you know what, let me ask this Adina. She wrote the book, and you know, I've known you for like, dang, when did you and Marcella?
A long time.
I remember when y'all got married. It was at your wedding. Yeah. My first Muslim wedding I went to.
Oh, look at that!
Yes, the first interview. Oh my gosh! So
that's a fun fact. That's good.
So I'm like, right now I'm doing like a you know, letting people know, you know, our viewers know like who you are, how we know each other, and I've known what year was that? 2007, 8?
No, we got married in 2006.
Wow. Gosh, that's what?
Yeah. It's like a long time, but it's a short time too when you think about it.
Yeah.
It feels short, but when you think about it, it's like, oh, that was a long time ago. But thinking about it, it's like, not really.
No, it was, But I'm so proud of you with this book. I know I had briefly sent you a message about, well, how do you go vegan? How? And you said, just take it, do one day. I still have yet to do it.
Yeah, that's how you do. That's something one day. Like that's the best way. Yes.
So you have the book, Vegan Kids.
Vegan Kids, Right Through the Love. Yes,
and your Instagram page. Oh God, those pictures.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like pictures. Good.
They look so. Oh my! I can't wait. Mine is on order. I'm waiting for it. We ain't gonna talk about the post office, but it's post office related, not writer related.
Right.
Not
I did my due diligence.
Yes, she did. She was on it. Yes, you were on it.
It's the government being the government. So you know. We don't control government entities. So you know.
Yeah, it's what you know. It just makes sense to anyway. That's an whole other thing.
Yeah. We can talk about that all day. All day.
So tell us a little about yourself.
I'm a wife, a mother. I'm an educator by profession. I'm a writer, a new self-published author of this cookbook. I love to read. I really like to read. I love books, as you can see. Like I'm like a bibliophile. Like I like to read, but I like to collect books too. Like I just like books. I like the way they smell. I like the way they feel. I'm just now getting into like liking ebooks because I like to like feel it and like touch the pages. But ebooks are good too. I like audiobooks too because you can kind of sit and listen when you're instead of being on Instagram all day because it's like, you know, Instagram is like the black hole. So
oh my next thing you know 3 days done pass and you're like, okay, what happened?
All the time. Like I thought it was only like 15 minutes. No, it's been 3 days. Seriously, 2 hours.
So how did you get started on your vegan journey?
This time, the first time I was a late teenager, maybe like 18, and I did it for like 3 days. And I was like totally into dairy, so I couldn't do that. But this time, I just started studying about food and different things. And I was like, I'm going to try this. I tried to do the raw thing first. And I did that for a little bit, maybe a few days. And then just started kind of first, because I started as a vegetarian. So I'm going to give you a little bit of the longer story. Started as a vegetarian, so we were doing we were doing like chicken and fish. We didn't eat red meat too much. So we decided that we were going to stop. I got to stop getting a relaxer. So after I stopped getting a relaxer, and that wasn't from me. That was from going to MGT class and hearing the sisters talk about it. Sister Sharon, then Sister Nazira now, talking about relaxers and what it does to you. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stop getting a relaxer. So I shaved my head because that's the quickest way to get rid of the relaxer. And after that, it kind of like opened me up, I would say. I guess because I wasn't poisoning my brain anymore. My brain was able to kind of grow and open. So we stopped doing, we said we were going to do chicken, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. We wouldn't do any meat at all. So that's how I started. And then I got pregnant with my 8-year-old. Well, a little before I got pregnant with my 8-year-old, we kind of weaned off we went into, before my 8-year-old. This is when I still had just 3 children. I have 5 altogether. I don't think I said that. I know you know that, but nobody else probably knows that. We went to just vegetarian. So just cheese, milk, no meat or anything. And then after that, we decided to try the process. I was reading about being raw, a raw vegan. I was like, well, that sounds like you just eat raw fruits and vegetables. So I did that for a few days, like I said, and that didn't work. But I noticed that I had stopped getting migraines. I've been a chronic migraine sufferer since I was in elementary school. I'm talking about, I remember the first time I got a migraine, went to the dentist and got some crowns. And after that, I just had migraines forever, even to the point of going to get a CAT scan and all of that. So for the first time in my life, I went like a long period of time without having any migraines. And the correlation was that I wasn't eating any dairy. So I was like, okay. So then I started learning about, Minister Richard was teaching about sugar and how they process it with the pig hooves or whatever.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, how we shouldn't, he was like, if you're a Muslim and you eat white sugar, you're a Muslim. So I was like, wait a minute, I eat white sugar. Let me check it out. So I started researching about that. Right. I started researching about the white sugar and in the same kind of time frame, but I would necessarily didn't stop. So I started getting migraines a little bit more frequently, not as much as when I was little, because when I was coming up before I changed my diet, it would probably be like once a week. So the migraines started coming back, but very maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. So when I stopped doing the sugar, along with the no dairy, completely, one day I can remember one day I was like, yeah, I haven't had a migraine in. I can't remember the last time I had a migraine. And I was thinking, it was the sugar, the refined sugar, and the dairy. So that's what kind of kept me on it. And it's difficult. I still, to this day, and it's been almost, I think we're at 9 years, almost 10 years. I still sometimes want chicken wings and a burger. I don't eat it, but I still crave it sometimes. Right. It's still there. I still get cravings. Some people are like, I don't get cravings, but I'm a person that still gets cravings. So
yeah. Okay. Wow. I didn't know about the migraines. Wow, that's something. When you learn something new about somebody, I get sinus headaches. And when I get my sinus headaches, I know a storm is coming. So I had a real bad one when we had that snow, was it around Thanksgiving? Or was it after Thanksgiving?
This recent one?
Yeah, this recent one.
Yeah, that was
we had some snow yesterday came. On our side, we had some snow that came. But I had another one, and I said something's coming, and then it snowed yesterday. So I'm struggling with the we'll say vegetarian thing. But looking at your Instagram page and seeing your posts and everything, it motivates me. I'm like, okay, I don't have to I try not to put too much thought into it, because with me, I overthink things and then I just fail, when I overthink. So I think this time around, I'll keep our viewers posted what happens.
You just got to be patient with yourself. You can do it.
I'm not going to put so much thought into I can't have meat, what I can't have, and just do sides or something like that. And I think the cookbook will really help. I can't think of a lot of things to make, and it seems like the recipes may be simple, easy, But yeah, I just want to get it.
Mhm. And I
So,
think too, when you're thinking about what you can't have, you start thinking about all the stuff you can't have.
oh,
So you kind of block yourself from thinking what you can't, because it's so much that you can't. It's just like, okay, it's just cheese, milk, chicken, beef. So that's like 5 things that you're not going to eat, right? Because you
yeah,
can do that if you want, but you're just not going to.
psyching
But
yourself out by thinking of what you can't do.
yeah, it's hundreds of other things you can eat. So
Yeah. So what made you write the book? What made you want to start writing a book?
I started this cookbook so long ago, years ago, and I have the binder with all my recipes. And during the like earlier stage of the pandemic in March, and I was sitting at my desk and I was like, I kept reading all the memes like don't waste this time. Then I'll read other memes like, it's okay if you're not doing anything because this is new to us. And something was like, you got time, just do it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do it. And that's just what I did. I just got on the computer one day and I just started looking at my recipes and I started typing them out. Like, what's the recipes that everybody really likes? So I was talking to my daughter and I was like, what's the recipes that y'all really like? Then I talked to the rest of the children. What things that I make that y'all really, really, really like? Yeah. And they started telling me. So I was like, all right, let me just, and it was difficult for me to do that because I'm a person that's like led by the spirit when I'm cooking. So like do it in like measurements and stuff. I had to kind of really get in my head, like if I'm doing this many dashes, how much is that actually? So the recipes are just base. They're base. I keep telling people that this is base. So when you're making the stuff, you tasting it, it's like, oh, this need a little bit more. A little bit more, add yourself to it. The base is this. The recipes are just the base for you. You add on top of all of that. Yeah. Okay. Because you might get a recipe out of here, and then you'll make it your own. You might add whatever you like to it. Like I got a cabbage recipe, and I don't have like peppers or anything in it, but you might add peppers or carrots or potatoes to it. However you build the recipe. Yeah, I like that. I like that because there's like certain things that I make that I just kind of throw in there. And I think it was James had asked me how to make something. I think it was my barbecue chicken. And he was like, well, how much? I was like, I don't know. Just keep putting stuff in there until it tastes right. Right. Like, let the spirit lead you. So to get somebody to, you know, that had to be hard. I can't even imagine, you know, and you have, but you have taste testers. Yes. Taste testers. So, what were some of your adversities when it came to writing this book, and how did you overcome them? Oh my goodness, the biggest one was the self-doubt. Like my big one was always, why people want to read this? Like, why people want to do your recipes? Like, and I had to really like help. I had to really like, he would send me things like people would talk to me about stuff or just like tell me how great I was with this, or how I like when I talk to my sister, she's like, you're good at this because you don't judge people when it's about food. Like, you're very welcoming. So he would like send people to like talk to me where it would be like, I know it was the guy because I'm going through something and somebody would randomly give me some encouragement and they didn't know that I was going through it. So it was like, this person randomly DM me like, oh yeah, I was thinking about you and I made a salad today. Or my friends would tell me like, I hate water, but I'm only drinking water because you always drinking water. So I'm like, okay, I can do this. So that was the most difficult. And I just overcame it by really looking at myself honestly, not in a boastful way, but like, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I got a real man husband. I got a husband like your husband. So if he can eat some vegetables and something that I made up from some wheat or some cauliflower and hooked it up and fried it, and he like, oh, this is good, I want seconds and I want thirds. Yeah, the children are eating it, and children are hard to please, but children aren't as hard as men are. That's like a little known fact. If you can get your husband to eat something and he like it, oh yeah, and really like it, not just, oh, this is good, and that's it. He said seconds. If you want seconds, I'm like, okay. So that was the encouragement that that helped me.
Yeah. But you know what? You know, and I've heard this from other people on my end as well. When you post stuff and you're not really thinking, oh, who's going to look at this? You don't want to do it. You don't know who's watching, who's encouraging. You're encouraging to positivity, you know. So you may not know or see it in your face, but there are people out there that are being inspired by the things that you do when you post. I know I am. So that's why, you know, I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of myself too, because it was a struggle to do it. This is the first thing in my life that I was like set out to do that I fully completed and brought to fruition. Because you know, as a mom, it's like you got children, you got a husband, you got stuff to do. So completing something for yourself is like, this ain't about you. You got to deal with the husband, then the children, then maybe you might have a little bit of time to do something for yourself. So that's the victory for me, that it's actually in my hand, something done.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Something tangible that you can see and say, I did this.
Yes.
I did this. So
So anything else, people buying it, people liking it, people making the recipes, that's abundance to me. Because the what I needed, it was met. It got met with the book being here. So you purchasing it and me seeing your name and getting the little Squarespace update on my email, like, oh, people are purchasing this book. That's just extra for me. So yeah.
You were self-published.
Yeah.
Self-published. Wow, that's like owning your masters.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you're trying to do something to give to people that's like, oh, people are gonna buy it, but it's like, no, you're gonna pay for this first. So you gotta get your little twos and fews together, and everything costs. That's what I learned too. Everything costs. Nothing is free. So the people watching this, if you support a small business, remember that like their product, and it may cost $30 or $50 or $100, and you're like, oh, that's a lot. They put in 100 times more than whatever that product costs just to get that product to you. So
not to mention the emotional that's attached with it. And there's no price on that.
No,
because that's your priceless baby. That's your heart. You know, that's baby.
Yeah. And you look at it like you can see all the quirks and the kinks in it that you can't see, that you're looking at like, oh, that looks great. And I'm like, I don't like that picture. I don't like that picture. That picture, the lighting was off. That picture, I don't like the way that looks. Like it's so much that other people don't see. They're like, oh, it's so great. And I'm like when I post my food, I'm always like, can they tell what that is? Like, did that look good? Like if I saw that, would I be like, oh, that looks good? And it's the stuff that I think look great. People would be like, well, the stuff that I think look terrible is like all these likes and DMs. Well, how do you make that? I'm like, you looking at that? Did you see the other thing I posted 2 weeks ago? Y'all ain't say nothing about.
Oh my gosh, you sound like me, because I'm laughing because it's like, going into this, I was like, okay, this is not right. We gotta be on time. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. Make sure the questions gotta be right. It's like, no, this don't sound right. Well, what if I'm,
But when I got your questions, I told my daughter, I was like, I sent them to her, I was like, aren't these great questions? And she was like, yes, Mom, you're so good. Like those questions are great. Like a real life. Like this is a real life interview. Let me put some makeup on, do my hair.
I wasn't trying to, because there's like so many questions and there's only so much time, and I was like, there's so many I want to ask. And I was like, oh, watch me go off and start talking about children and this, all this stuff and get off topic. And I'm like flowing really good. It's just like you said.
And we haven't talked about children. See, we're having a sister moment. We ain't talking about children or nothing. Because if we start talking about them, we won't be talking about no cookbook, no food, nothing. So.
Yeah. So, okay, the next question. What was your initial response to going vegan and writing this book, especially in the Black community? Because you know how we are.
How much time you got, y'all? Family first, it was like, well, this is the thing. My parents, they were practicing more science. So we didn't eat like beef, red 40, any dyes, Kool-Aid, anything, white bread, white rice, white potatoes. We didn't eat any of that stuff. So that was kind of, cool. But as I got older, my parents got kind of lax. They still don't eat pork or beef or anything like that. But when I started the vegan thing, it was like, what's what?
What's wrong with you?
Which it was no more so what's wrong with you was like who about to eat that? Like when we have like a family, I had to win them over with the taste. Like the food tastes good, so that won them over. Now that's my parent. I gave the background of my history for my side, my mother's side, my in-law side. They haven't really some people, but they haven't came along. Not quite. So
okay.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's almost like becoming a Muslim and you don't have people in your family.
Very similar. Very similar. Very similar.
Unknown. They don't. It's just the unknown, something that they don't know, and it scares them. Yep. And but it's like, what is it gonna hurt you? I mean, you wasn't saying anything, and I'm not knocking anybody that doesn't go vegan or anything like that. But it's always good to explore things to know what you do or don't like. My feeling is that if you explore it and you find you don't like it, cool, but don't judge it until you tried it. Yep. So, and it's healthier for you. I mean, you know, Darius had some health scares, and I need to get my health together better than what I have, and especially now because I can't get out to the gym because childcare isn't open. So I can work out at home, but it's harder for me because I'm at home, and who wants to work out at home? I'm gonna be honest. Yep. Who wants to work? I don't want to work out at home, but I have to be more disciplined. But I don't want to get off topic again.
Yeah, because working out, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I do not like working out. Like that's like, can I just eat right? It's like no, you got to work out. But I don't like it.
I think that's like 85% of weight loss is your diet. That's what it is. The meat of it is your diet. The exercise, like, I think, is like icing on the cake. Yeah. But I know when I was working out and I was actually lifting weights, it's addictive. Yeah. It really is. It's addictive, and I loved it. But I haven't worked out in almost a year, and I don't know if I'll be able to get back to it. I may talk Darius into a home gym.
That'll be good.
When he goes back to edit this.
He'll see it. Mark minute. Home gym.
Okay. Home gym. Right. Home gym. We got the room in the basement. Yeah. Home gym there.
Yeah. So, and you're spending money, but you're saving money in the long run.
Yes, on your health. Because they're going to close the gyms down again there. Yep. Okay, so that was a sidebar. The next question is, how do you juggle your family life, your business, and any of the other things that you do? How do you juggle it all and keep it straight, or if you do keep it straight, or keep your sanity? And
look, I was about to lie and like my tongue got caught up. Look, I'm telling the truth. It's difficult. It's very difficult. Each day is semi the same because you get up, you eat, get the children together, but anything can happen throughout the day. So what has really helped me for real is probably like almost 2 years ago, Marcellus was like, I got somebody to come clean up to help you. And I was like, oh, really? And he was like, yeah. So she started coming like once a month. Then I was like, she was coming once a month for like a year. And I was like, I want Tamika to come every 2 weeks. And he was like, okay. And then like 2 months ago, I was like, I want her to come every Sunday. Because that helped me. Like my men, as women, I think we feel like, I'm gonna speak for myself. You got to do everything for your family. Like, you got to clean up, even if you're working. When I come home from work, even though he comes home from work too, your husband, y'all both come home from work, but you got to cook. You got to clean up. You're like, I had that mentality that I had to be everything to them.
Everything. Yeah.
And he really helped me and freed me up mentally with that. Like, you can tell somebody what you want them to do. You can delegate responsibilities to people. That's a smart person delegates responsibilities. You don't try to do everything because that'll burn you out, and you'll start to resent your family. Like, I'm doing everything, I can't do everything. Yeah. Like, so she came, and I was having really bad anxiety after she came. I I can't remember the last time I had any issues with anxiety. Just, I think the anxiety is more overthinking. Like, how am I going to do everything? Is the house clean enough? Is the food right? Are the children together? Like, that one thing eased up my week, because cleaning takes a long time. So the time you're cleaning is freed up. You can be doing, and should take 3 hours in kitchen, bathrooms, stairs, living room, dining room, clean the walls down, the bedroom floors, the children's bedroom floors. Boom, done.
See, with me, because Darius had wanted me to get someone to help. Mm-hmm. My thing is, for me, is letting go and letting somebody help. It's like, I feel like I'm less of a mother or wife if I let somebody help. Like you said, I have to be everything to everybody. And it's like, how do you it's like, I don't want to say pride, maybe it is.
Yeah, it is. But I'm going to tell you something, because I experienced that too. After you go and look at your house and it's clean, but you ain't tired from cleaning, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, let's go. I'm going to send you her number too, because she's good. I'm going to text you her number.
Okay. But you know what? That might be another interview that we can do. Yeah, a mother's interview. We can get a couple of us on here and talk about that.
Yeah, that's definitely, we need that. We need a little sister circle.
Yeah. Man. Okay. How do you deal with the distractions and stay on task? I think we kind of covered that.
Yeah, I think that was gonna.
That was the audience. That was the next question was, how do you deal with distractions and stay on task? And we covered that in the. Yeah.
Making lists. That's a good thing. Making lists, giving yourself, I'll do it real quick. Making lists of what you have to do throughout the day and rewarding yourself after you accomplish each one.
Rewarding yourself.
I did this for an hour. If I got to write for an hour, that's how I got finished. I got to write for an hour. I give myself 20 minutes to do whatever I want to do after I write for an hour. Then go back to an hour and then give myself 15 minutes. But rewarding yourself for getting something done. That's how you get
downtime. Yeah. Don't get on social media, because you'll it'll be 3 days later if you
even if you do that, because I would do that. It'll be on a timer. If I do Instagram, I put my timer on, and you got to stick to it. Like, all right, the timer went off. Get off Instagram.
This has been so nice talking to you like this.
I thank you so much for even considering me. Like, my goodness, I'm so appreciative.
No problem. I love you, sis. I love your family.
Love you too. So. You all too. Send your husband a greeting. I'm glad he's better.
I will. But before we get off, how can we get to your book? What is your Instagram tag? How can we purchase it? How much is it? Tell our audience, how can we get to you?
Okay, so on Instagram, it's Vegan Made Kids, all one word, at Vegan Made Kids on Instagram. If you're looking to purchase the book, you can go to www.veganmadekids.com and purchase, or you can go to Barnes & Noble, type in the name or type in my name. You can go to Amazon as well. The ebook.
Okay, so we had so much information from the last part 1. We had to make a part 2. So with that being said, we want to get your details on your book and how can we get it and how much the book costs. So what's your website, your IG handle? What are the details on those?
My IG handle is at Vegan Made Kids, and I post almost every day or every other day. Also, if you want to get my book is available directly from me at www.veganmadekids.com. And also Barnes & Noble and Amazon carry my book as well. My paperback there's an ebook version that's $9.99. The paperback is $19.99, and there's a hardback that's available, and that's $26.99.
Okay, that's what's up.
Oh, one more thing that's good about my book. I have a activity portion in the back of my book, and this part is really, I'm very proud of this part. I post about it all the time, but this truly came from the mother in me, this part. Because when you're cooking, your children are always like, when is it ready? How long is it going to be? So this part came from that, to help them, like they can have a couple word finds, couple of coloring pages. They could color. And then there's
while they're waiting.
Yep, and unscramble. So even if you're not cooking, if they just, want to look through the book, and then it's something fun for them to do in the back.
Okay, that's great. That gets them, but it also gets them involved in the cookbook.
Yep. Yep.
It gets them involved. So that's wonderful. Now, can we expect any more books or any more projects from you?
Yes. I have 2 fiction books, but I also have coming a vegan cookbook, and it's called Vegan Made for the Home Chef in You. So those will be recipes that are more complicated, but they're kind of, I would say, like if you're kind of a snazzy cooker and you like to make things look pretty and kind of complicated when you cook. So that's kind of for the elevated person that kind of cooks a lot is the next one. This is for children, but it's also for people just starting out because it's taught in a way that's very elementary, so even adults can do it and not feel like overwhelmed because it's something new. Yeah. So even if you're a vegan, you can do this, but if you're not, it's really written for people who are just trying to change their diet, not necessarily people who already have, because I've experienced that. So I kind of know what you're looking for when you're doing that, what kind of recipes you want. And you want things to be, you're already overwhelmed with, I'm doing something new. Now I'm doing something new that I'm learning about. Now I got to learn how to cook it too. And if that's too much, you'll kind of be like, you know what, forget it. I'm just about to go get some fried chicken and I don't care. So this is made in a way, and the recipes are quick because I understand when you're dealing with children, you can't be taking 2 hours to put something together. So most of the things are very quick, easy to do, and there are not a lot of ingredients.
Yeah, that was always my issue with vegan cookbooks because some of the ingredients I never heard of. Some of the ingredients are hard to find. And it's like, forget it. It's like it felt like work to make something, and I'm like, sometimes it's like, is it really worth it? Because it is so difficult. And well, if I want to do this, then maybe I'll just eat sides for the rest of my life, you know. But you know.
That's why it's good, because it's coming from somebody who's done that, who's thought like, you know what, I ain't doing all that. Like, the children got to eat too. I got to put 15 different things together. Now, there are a couple in here like that. Like, I have a seitan steak. Now, those are a lot of steps. However, it's only that's probably the most difficult. And it's only difficult because there's a lot of steps. But outside of that.
But that's not the whole cookbook. That's like the whole cookbook isn't like.
And that's just one thing. And you're putting everything in the food processor at the same time. That's it. And then you got to knead after that, and you got to steam it. And then after you steam it, you slice it. But other than that, everything is. Can I share one recipe? Do I have time?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So something quick, like something we've all had before, fried rice. Very quick. Okay. This fried rice recipe has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13 ingredients, and the majority of those ingredients are seasoning. So 8 of those ingredients are the sesame oil and the garlic, onion, ginger, salt, pepper, and sesame seeds. So it's just cooked rice, carrots, onion, bell pepper, and a green onion and peas.
Your video went out, sis.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, there you are.
My bad.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
We heard you though. We heard you.
Okay, yeah. So it's really quick, and it's good. So I have breakfast. I have snacks. I have lunch, dinner options. I have some drinks in here. I have hibiscus lemonade, a holiday punch. I got my favorite thing, refrigerator pickles. So quick, so easy, so good. You'll never.
I saw the picture.
You'll never eat pickles from the grocery store after you do this, ever. I'm guaranteed.
Wow. I saw the hibiscus lemonade on your Instagram page, and I'm like, ooh, that looks good and refreshing. I'm like, I think I want some right now.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. I'm like, I've never heard of hibiscus lemonade. And I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have to.
And all it is hibiscus tea with some lemon and some maple syrup or whatever sweetener that you use. I told you before I got migraine, so I can't do sugar at all. So I use maple syrup to sweeten it. But you can use sugar if you want to, agave. Real simple.
But it has you thinking outside of the box. You know, instead of just the same old, you know.
Yeah.
It really does. So, I can't remember if I asked you this because I'm thinking about the hibiscus lemonade.
Getting a little thirsty.
Any more books or projects for you?
Yes. I told you about the other cookbook, and then I have 2 fiction books that I've been working on. I've been working on those fiction books for so many years. So I was like, since I did this,
You
I
can
did
do it.
something, I could do something else. So
Yes,
yeah,
you can do it. You can do it.
yeah,
So when you release it, we'll have you back on again, so we can talk about your
yeah,
new book. Yes, we can talk
yeah.
about your new books, and we can
I'll
have
be
a
happy,
do a
happy,
sister,
happy to come.
yes, and we'll do a sister circle with a couple of us. We may have to extend the Zoom meeting for that one, because you know how we get
Oh
when we
yeah.
get together. Yeah, it'll probably be about 2-3 hours long. So
Right. Because we're gonna take 30 minutes to catch up.
I
That's
really,
definitely gonna happen.
it is. So it was so good to have you on. Thank you so much for being my first interview. I pray much health and success to you and your family, especially during this time that we're going through right now. But it's just a test for us, and we'll make it through. And that will be it. Give love to the family for me, and we will be talking later.
You as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, you have a good one.
You too. Peace.
Bye-bye.